Happy Tuesday, friends. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. And as of the recording of this video, I am officially registered for Quiltcon 2024, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the video. But first, I want to say, at least for the parents in my area of the country, happy back to school week. I am so excited. Zoe started her first day of 7th grade yesterday, and she's really kind of excited about this because this is the first year in a few years where she already knows some things going in. We moved to this area when she was in 5th grade, so that year she had a school change, and then last year she started 6th grade, which meant she had a whole new school because she went from elementary school to middle school. This year she felt a little bit more confident, maybe even had a little bit more of a spring in her step when we dropped her off for school this morning because she had the lay of the land already. I won't say that she's super excited to be back at school. Maybe I'm a little bit more excited than she is, but she is excited to be a 7th grader. She has 2 electives this year, and the 2 that she's gone with, of course, obviously band, for those of you that are curious. Zoe does play the saxophone, and she tinkers with several other instruments as well, but saxophone is her primary instrument. For her second elective, she took a rotation. I think there are 10-week segments of 4 different classes, of which drama is included. And I got to tell you, when I saw drama on her school schedule, I about fell out of my chair because my daughter does not like talking in front of people. So that one really kind of surprised me. Apparently it surprised her too, because when she saw it, she said, "Oh, I took drama?" Yeah, we'll see if it sticks. Speaking of going back to school, what has 2 thumbs and waited until Sunday night to buy school supplies? This girl. I put it off and put it off and put it off until late Sunday night when I made a trip up to Target to buy the notebooks, pens, and pencils that Zoe was going to need for 7th grade. But apparently I wasn't the only one because Target was packed. The lines to check out were fun. Lots of other parents there in the same boat, and all of the supplies, like I said, were picked over. But fortunately, we really didn't need a whole lot of stuff. We got her the bare necessities, and I was in and out pretty quickly. This summer, we've done some fun projects, and one of the things that we did is actually for the puppies. We have 2 dogs, Beetlejuice, who is an 11-pound Maltipoo. He is a Maltese poodle mix, but he looks like a toy poodle, and Akumu, which is a 6-pound Shih Tzu. These 2 dogs are within 6 months of each other. Beetlejuice just turned a year old, and Akumu is about 6 or 7 months old, and they love each other. Everywhere they go, the other one has to be. They love playing together, they love chilling together, and they love stealing each other's treats and bones. Both of our pups are smaller dogs, so they don't need a lot of room. And our house is on a wooded lot that has a lot of land that they could explore. But because of the wildlife in the area, we want to keep them close to the house, and we definitely don't want to let them be outside unsupervised. There's some pretty big hawks in the area that would love to meet Beetlejuice and Akumu, so we don't let them outside unsupervised. Until this summer, what we've been doing is taking them out on the leash anytime they had to go potty or wanted to play, and it's a bit tiring to always have them on a leash outside, and it's probably not terribly fun for them to always be on a leash while they're trying to play with each other. Can you just imagine how tangled that gets? It's crazy. So we took on a small project. We made it very affordable. We got some chicken wire and some stakes, and we just fenced off a part of our lot that is attached to our back deck so that both of the pups can be outside. They can run, they can play, they can do their business while we're sitting on the deck supervising them, and we don't have to worry about them getting completely lost in the woods or taking off where they shouldn't be. When we lived in Arlington, we had a dog named Aiden, and I loved that dog. He was a coonhound and huge. His head literally could rest right here while he was standing on all fours. He was a big dog, and the amount of space that that dog needed to get up to full speed and run in circles is nowhere near what we have allocated for these 2 small pups. So it's fun to watch them in this small enclosure of a yard getting up to full speed, just running laps with each other. Speaking of fur babies, Mary and her two fur babies, Chewy and Bella, came by this weekend and spent some time with Mom and I. I haven't seen Mary in a few weeks, maybe even longer than that, and it was really nice to be able to catch up with her. One of the things that we did do was prioritize helping her continue her de-stash. Mary is downsizing a lot of her fabric and her kits and things that she has in her sewing room. These are all items that she has curated through the years and now realizes that maybe she's not really going to do anything with. And so we're selling them on Whatnot. We got through almost 100 items this past Saturday, and all of those packages have been mailed out. So if you purchase something, thank you for supporting Mary's de-stash, and you should be getting your goodies by the end of the week. But we didn't get through everything. That was probably only a third of it. We have another Whatnot de-stash scheduled for this coming Saturday, August 26, 2023 at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do a little bit earlier than we did last week so that we're not dead tired at the end of the live sale. There are a lot of things that we're going to sell, and we're going to be a little bit more organized about it this time. All of the items with their starting price will be loaded into the Whatnot sale by Friday evening. So if you want to take a look at that, you can see the items. We will not have pictures. We're just going to have the item number and the starting price. I will tell you right now, we've got some pre-cuts. I think there's some jelly rolls out there. We've got some grab bags, which are chock full of fabric and notions. And then we have lots of yardage from Mary shelves. So you'll want to tune in to see what that's all about. And don't forget, if you have never used Whatnot before, there is a link in the show notes down below to get a $15 credit on your account that you can use to shop any sale on Whatnot. And the link for the de-stash sale is down there as well. Oh yeah, and for those of you that tuned in to the de-stash that we were doing this past weekend and you heard me eating the spaghetti and raving about it, Mary's recipe for her baked spaghetti is on my website, and that link is down below too. Speaking of visitors, I do want to give a quick shout out to my friend Sean and his wife Amanda. They live in Virginia, just a few hours away from me, and occasionally find themselves in the Northern Virginia, DC area. And this time while they were up here, they stopped in to say hi and check out the studio space. So they got to meet me, Mom, and Mary, and it was really fun saying hi and hosting them for just a couple of hours. Sean has a channel right here on YouTube. He is The Guy Who Sews, and his wife Amanda has a channel as well. Both of them I will link to in the show notes down below in case you want to check them out. And all of the details about Sean's trip up here will probably be covered on one of his podcast episodes that he posts on Sundays. Sewing wise, I worked on two things this week. The first one was my Village Green Puzzle Mystery Quilt. For those of you that aren't tracking this, I'm doing two colorways. The first one is Begonia. I'm doing the large size Begonia, and I'm doing this as an ambassador for Cotton Cuts. That means they gave me the kit for free in exchange for producing content for them. So I sew those clues on a live stream once a month after they ship. This month, I got Clue 7 done, and it was a little bit late because the clues shipped earlier, and I waited a couple weeks to get it done, but I did get it done on a live stream. Clue 7 was so easy that I was able to do my second colorway, which is a personal sew. I'm also doing the Bluebell colorway, but this is a colorway that I am paying for and doing just because I really like the colorway. I did both of those clues on my Friday night live stream because they were so easy, and I gotta tell you, I cannot believe that we are almost done with the Village Green Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Two more clues, and then we're going to assemble the whole thing. And I cannot wait to see how the Begonia one comes together. I'm also excited for Bluebell, but I'm really excited to see the Begonia one done. The second project I've been working on is trying to get my Rosenbloom quilt done. This is a block of the month that I believe hit the market in late 2021 or early 2022. It's featuring a pattern by Lella Boutique and the Love Note fabric from Lella Boutique. And this is something that as soon as I saw the picture, I was all in. I wanted to do it. I was so proud of myself with this one because every month when those block of the month packages arrived, I dropped everything, did the block of the month, was very precise about it, and then put it away. And I did that every single month. So at the end of the program, I had all of my blocks sewn and squared up and carefully filed and labeled. And that's where they sat for a rather long time. Once I finished putting together the 2018 designer mystery quilt, I knew I wanted to pull another UFO because my goal is in 2023, I want to end the year with as many of the UFOs that I started the year with done. I want to get a lot of them done. And so Rosenbloom was on the chopping block next. I would love nothing more than to show you this quilt today. However, it's not done. Well, it is according to the pattern. You see, I have the quilt all pieced exactly as the pattern has said, but I'm a firm believer in patterns being just an inspiration, a suggestion, or a starting point. And so sometimes you want to deviate away from the pattern to give a project your own spin. And that is exactly what is happening with Rosenbloom. I've got the quilt pieced according to the pattern, but I want to make it bigger. And I want to do something with the borders. It's not going to be intricate or over the top, but I've got an idea. I don't have the fabric on hand. Sadly, I don't even have the solid version of the fabric that I'm looking for. So I did have to buy a couple yards of fabric, and I am waiting for them to come. I am hoping that in the next couple weeks, I'll be able to show you this finished quilt top and explain to you what I did and why I did it. So you'll want to make sure to stay tuned and come on back in a couple of weeks. I feel like I have been really productive this week, but the award for most progress would probably go to Mom. She finished her Jelly Roll Race quilt. She's continuing the progress on her layer cake pop quilt. We found it. It was here. I left it behind. And she has started a new project with a charm pack and some 2.5-inch strips. I am really excited to see her embracing the world of quilting. And by the way, she has mastered the stitch and flip technique, which is game changer for her. And she is starting to embrace rotary cutter work so that she can work a little bit more independently. Mom loves to have multiple pokers in the fire, and I know you can relate to that because I know I can. And I'll tell you what, sometimes it's really easy to get a little bit of FOMO. Fear of missing out. You see all that beautiful fabric and all those patterns, and you just want to do all of the projects. But when you jump into that and grab all that stuff, it can make you feel a little overwhelmed. And so we're trying to help keep Mom managed, keep her from feeling that overwhelming sense of urgency. So we're limiting all of her active projects to just 2 whips, Project A and Project B. And as she wraps up a project, she can go to my shelves and shop for whatever fabric she wants to completely for free. It lets her get something for free, start a new project, and it makes room on the shelves behind me for me to start shopping for more fabric. And as you can see, Mom must already be ready to start another project because she's just pulled fabric off of my shelf. Yeah, you're not keeping that. No, it's not going to happen.
I might get a yard or 2 of it.
There's enough there that I'll share, but you're not taking the whole thing.
Okay. We can share.
We can share. And oh yeah, don't forget, Friday, August 25th, 2023 at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Mom and I are going to do a jelly roll race on my live stream. So if this is something you want to do with us, grab a jelly roll of your own and meet us right back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, August 25th. And finally, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I am officially going to Quiltcon in Raleigh, North Carolina in February 2024. As a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, you get a few perks, and one of them is early registration to Quiltcon. Quiltcon registration for the general public opens on September 1, 2023. But if you're a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, as I am, you are able to start registering on August 15th, 2023. If you're a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, your show pass for all 4 days is completely free. You get discounts to the workshops and the lectures, and, as I mentioned, you get early registration. This year, when I go to Quiltcon, I want to do things a little differently. Last year, when I went to Quiltcon in Atlanta, I feel like I overdid it. It's a 4-day event, and every one of those days I had at least one and sometimes two workshops scheduled. And I was really looking forward to them. I thought going into Quiltcon for my very first time, what I was going to want the most were the workshops and the classes. But once I got there and was able to experience what QuiltCon really was, what I really wanted to do was interact with the vendors and see the beautiful quilts. As a result, I ended up spending most of my time in the exhibit hall, and I abandoned several workshops that I paid for. And I sacrificed some time with those quilts. I did not realize that all of the quilts had their own floor at the exhibit hall, and so I didn't see as many of them as I would like. And the quilts that I did see, I felt pretty rushed through that experience. This year, I'm going to learn from Atlanta, and so I'm doing things differently. I am lucky enough to go to QuiltCon with a few friends, and so I am going to prioritize my time by making sure that I see all of the quilts in the exhibit. I spend some quality time with my friends, and I am not planning right now to take any classes or lectures. Maybe all of that will change as the day gets closer, but right now my priority is to be inspired by all of the beautiful quilts at QuiltCon and spend some wonderful time with my friends. And if you're going, by the way, I would love a chance to meet you. If you see me there, say hi. I'd love a chance to give you a hug and chat with you for a little bit. Last year when I went to QuiltCon, I did arrange a after hours meetup, and I think I'm going to do the same thing this coming year. So once I have all of the details ironed out for that, I'll make sure to share them with you so that you can find me at QuiltCon if you're going to. Speaking of quilt shows, one of the local guilds in the area, the Stonehouse Quilters, is hosting a quilt show at the Manassas Baptist Church on Friday, August 25th and Saturday, August 26th. And I will be at that quilt show for just a few hours in the afternoon on Saturday, August 26th. So if you're in the area and you're looking to see some beautiful quilts or maybe do a little quilt shopping, that's a great place to go check out. Thank you, friends, so much for tuning into my weekly video. And don't forget to come on back next week where I share with you some of my favorite quilts from the Stonehouse Quilters Quilt Show. I'll see you guys all next week. Bye!